Hello, fellow ToastMasters. Welcome to the episode number 3 in the Leadership Podcast. Leadership and the Changing Trends. So, from the first two podcasts, you must have understood we are not trying to go to the just explain the leadership qualities and talk about it because all those things are there in the books. So you can always refer that. This series of podcasts will take you into some different direction. These efforts are done to explain the leadership, the importance in some different way. So let's go. So let's start with the leadership qualities with a story. So how important is the leadership? Let's take one story. There was 1,000 sheep and there were 1,000 lions. And they were like facing off and war was looking imminent. Sheep decided, let's have a leader. And they wisely chose a lion from different group as their leader. The situation is like this. Leader is a lion and he has 1,000 sheep in his army. On the other side, the 1,000 lions saw, oh, sheep did like that. They decided they will do the same. They chose a big ram as their leader. Now one big ram as a leader and 1,000 lion as an army. So that was the face-off. Here, the leader lion decided that let's go and congratulate his opponent from the other side. He went there. He congratulated the ram for his role, for his selection, and he just put a question. He said, congratulations, sir. I have only one question. Who is going to be your successor after that? And that's it. 1,000 lions started fighting with each other. A big fight broke out. Who is going to be the successor? And the leader couldn't stop anything. Never to mention the 1,000 sheep and the leader lion did a victory march. So that's how important is the leadership. Leadership are like a directional efforts. If you are supposed pulling a door and it's not opening, you are putting like a very huge force. It's not opening. You added double, triple, it's not opening. Then you realize, okay, instead of pulling, if you push, the door opens. It's a directional effort. Method is not important. Direction is important. Unless your direction are correct, just sheer magnitude of any other qualities may not work. Do you know 1% makes us human? 1% makes us human. Otherwise, 99% genes are same. What distinguishes human? Those are the 1%. That's how it's important. That's the theory of, there are several theories. Now let's go to the books. So what motivates? If you put like a bunch of efforts and they say that, okay, now get my work done, like I gave you like bunch of this thing may not work, because that's where the theory of leadership and motivation comes. Because leader should know what motivates, what direction needs to be applied, what is the self-actualization of the team. And when he puts the efforts in the right direction, that's where we see the throughput is double, triple, or multiple. In our previous episodes, I took examples of the animal leadership or non-human leadership. So I gave examples of ants, bees, then wolves and geese. If you see ants or bees, there is a queen, and that's the leadership. But if you carefully observe, the worker ants do not take day-to-day direction from their leader. Worker ants or worker bees are self-directed. It's a functional organization. So bee, even its leader, it is doing her job. And all the other departments are doing their job. And they are not really taking orders from others or not really dependent. In humans, it may not be possible, or it will be very rare. Human society, in the consideration of the corporates, it will be very difficult that all the workers will be self-directed and they will do maximum throughput without any coordination. So we may not have that society possible. That's why leadership is more important. Human society may be like a tiger. Do you know how tiger it is? Solitary. So they will manage solitary. But if you have to go in the coordination with the highest uh, possible without any coordination, that the way ants do it or bees do it, that may not happen. So we need a different leadership, or our leadership qualities will be different. So if you see in, let's explore more into the animal kingdom. I want to give you example of rams or elks or reindeers. Do you know those bulls, when there's harvest time or summer time, they fight so vigorously? Do you know they have so big horns? Oh my goodness. They fight for leadership of the clan. Oh my God. I was wondering if they show that kind of aggression when a bear attacks or leopard attacks, their chances of living and winning will be more. But they never show that aggression on the outsiders, outside invaders. I mean, they will show only on the inside. So those are another some kind of leadership qualities, which probably we don't want to follow. Or if you see lion, lion leadership will be, they will take care of the clan, they will manage the territory, and they will manage the uh, pride. So something similar to that. But leadership should not be always like a aristocratic, like a lion is like a crown king, uncrowned king. I mean, we don't need to tell lion is a king or something. It will be, there is no crown, but he is the king. So does the any personal traits or attributes contribute to the leadership style? In corporates, human, answer is no, or should not, or not even in the history. We are seen in history like one king who was like a lame, he was not able to walk, he was the greatest king. Yes, I'm talking about the uh, Tamerlane. Or there was one king in the Jerusalem who was a leper, and he used to put a mask on his face. But he was a very, very noted and influential leader. So those are the things. It's not necessary you should have a very aristocratic background or traits, personal traits to make you successful leader. If you take examples of political leadership, we see several humble backgrounds also has rose to the power and become presidents. President Lincoln, greatest example of that. President Obama, he has a great story. The leader will be successful or effective based upon not only one type of leadership or one type of quality or one type of leadership style. He has to rose to the occasion demanded by the time. And no ideas are always welcome. We know there are several crazy ideas are always there. Our mind is full of factory of ideas, and most of them are absolutely crazy, but not all of them. Take this example. In 1990s, early 1990s, one guy was trying to sell books on internet. Thank God he was not selling vegetables on the internet. In early 1990s, how many people know internet? They used to do telemarketing, and that also they didn't like that much. People didn't know how to use email, and he put like a bunch of investment in the internet store. How crazy or stupid that it is. I mean, if you evaluate that idea at that point in time, then you have to whatever you want to evaluate. So that's the craziest thing. But going forward the timeline, we saw that craziest idea got like it multiplied like anything. Same thing, ideas like the bitcoins and few other things. So leaders should have ideas, and he should know ideas are crazy, but some are not. So going into the current corporate leadership, we saw several leaders in the corporate are self-made. Sam Walton developed the Walmart. It was not given to him. His heir, they have got the shares, inheritation. But Sam Walton developed it. Bill Gates developed with his ideas. I'm not going to go into the details of any other thing. We are just focusing on the leadership. So it was technological leadership and innovation and vision. Those are the things we are looking at. Same thing for Steve Jobs. There are several stories of Steve Jobs being leader and his temper. And we saw certain things even happened there. But ultimately, he was the power behind the Apple, which is we saw it's going into the $1 trillion. So that's the vision. Vision was very important. A leader may not have all the qualities and he cannot exhibit everything at the same time, but the qualities are needed for today's like morely vision, technological advancement, and looking into the future, alternative solutions. Those are more important. And the changing world, how you will solve the problems are generally will be same. Human tendencies or human work practices or human motivation should remain same unless we the change the genes for something, but otherwise they will around similar from history till now, but how you manage them will be different. As we saw, there were fundamental problems of housing, food, shelter, housing, food, clothes, and other fundamental necessities. Those can be resolved with the modern technology. So if you have the vision, then we can do that. Do you know there's something called a type 1, type 2, type 3 civilization? We know only earth-based civilization. We don't know anything else. But it was proposed that picturesely, if civilization is very advanced, then they can harness maximum power out of their host star. They are not only dependent upon the planetary resources. So currently, we harness from our star, that is solar energy, is pretty less or minimum. But technology is there, help is there. So visionary leader can harness this energy, and that's it, because then it can make us sea water can make into drinking water, and then you name it, then everything else is possible with that. So vision is absolutely important. Apart from that, all other things which you learn from the books, those will be there. Going into the new technology, new ideas, and solving them with the newer ways, new tools, that kind of leadership should be looked upon. If you go into the future, like 10 years, because our generations are now 10 years, we know that after 10 years, the diesel cars, gasoline cars will, whoa, it will go down like this. Currently, over 90% are gasoline cars. That percentage will just go steep down. Correct? So that's how the technology changes. Then we probably will realize that we don't want to waste certain things and or certain resources certain way. Example, last century we fought two hot and one cold. This century we are fighting something which I'm not able to temperaturize it. So because we don't know who, what, why fight, what's going on. So those kind of resources, if we put on the scientific thing, so those kind of leadership comes, that is going to guide us, because new vision should be the space technology. So definitely, even we can make Earth habitable for almost more than million years from now. Still, space exploration is going to be there, and we don't need to find a different planet. Not necessarily there are like a bigger asteroid, there can be civilization can start, and we definitely don't know how earth-based civilizations started, because those microbes may have been dropped by the asteroids and then civilization starts. So we know that. So this is how the civilization can move from different planets. So that's why the admiral of the space is very important. That's why the blue origin, that's very important. And those are not just the technological wizards, they are going to solve our day-to-day problems as well. So as I said, the housing, living, food, those kind of things as well can be solved with the newer technology. So those kind of leadership, now you map it with the leadership qualities, whichever is good for that. That's what we're looking at. Thanks for joining. The next episode will focus more on the technological side of the AI. Thank you.